If you want to win some free PSN or Xbox gift cards, all you gotta do is be subscribed to my channel, drop a like on this video, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to turn on notifications. Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to their Call of Duty Black Ops 3 video. In today's video, what we're going to be talking about is the top 5 best DLC weapons in the history of Black Ops 3. So Black Ops 3 has had a lot of new guns, a lot of DLC guns in its history, and today we're just going to be talking about, in my opinion, the top 5. I've done this for the top weapons in Black Ops 3. I've done this for the top class setups, and a lot of people requesting that I do it for DLC weapons as well, and that's what we're going to be doing here today. So hope you guys will enjoy this video. If you guys can, also smack a like on this video. I'd really appreciate that. Pump out those likes, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and these are in no particular order, but I will talk about my different feelings and thoughts about them. Let's get going. So the first one is going to be this DIY 11 Renovator. Now this thing is otherwise known as the nail gun. A lot of people just call it the nail gun. Basically DIY is do it yourself 11 Renovator, because nail gun, Renovator, doing it yourself, it all goes together. It's all a little theme there. This weapon is pretty awesome, and I do like this weapon. I think it's very good for a DLC weapon. Traditionally, DLC weapons are not as good as normal weapons in the game, and you'll see that when you look at my other video I made with my top 5 weapons about a month ago, and then this video with my top 5 DLC weapons. There's really no comparison. If you have a team of 5 people with the best DLC guns versus 5 people with the best guns going up against each other, it's really not going to be comparable, and that's why I think that the game is not really pay to win. It's pay to unlock everything, but the traditional weapons that you get are a lot better than the DLC weapons for the most part. There are some DLC weapons which are better than traditional weapons, but that's for the most part. Now DIY Renovator, why this deserves a spot on the list is because it is a deadly SMG. It's something that can melt people super duper fast and do quite well at long ranges. Pretty much everything you want out of a consistent SMG. The only downfall is that it does shoot nails instead of bullets, which means the hit detection is kind of wonko sometimes, and that's something that really sucks about it. Also, the hip fire is not very reliable. So as an SMG, this one is probably one of the better SMGs for shooting at medium to longer ranges, but close and the hip fire, you can't really rely on this thing. So you could run a pistol on it, or you can just play to its strengths. However, I think this weapon is pretty unique and pretty cool. I actually like the nail gun design, and I like how it plays. It's one of my favorite weapons that I have on this game right now. In this video, some of the gameplays are going to be me playing on other people's accounts and other people's gameplay, stuff like that, because I do not have every single one of these ones unlocked. The DIY Renovator is one that I have had unlocked for a very long time. There's a ton of DLC weapons in this game, and I always love this one. The next one is going to be the Peacekeeper. I made a video about this one saying this is one of the best DLC weapons in the game, and it's definitely true. I'd probably say this one might even be the best. This thing is an absolute monster. Peacekeeper in Black Ops 2 was an awesome SMG. In this game, it's an awesome assault rifle, and it plays just as good as some of the assault rifles in this game. I love this gun. I throw the elo sight on it and I start to slay out enemies, and I'm definitely a big fan of the Peacekeeper. If you don't have the Peacekeeper, you are missing out, because this is one that if I could only keep one DLC weapon, I would probably go with this one. I'd say this is probably, in my opinion, the best one, but I have to be biased because I do not have, even though I've played with pretty much every single one, I don't have every single one unlocked on my account. So like with the M16, I've only played a few games. With the Pps H, I played hundreds because it is actually unlocked on my account, and I do love this gun. This is the gun that if you're looking for a gun that works like the KN44, the HVK, this DLC weapon will do that for you, and I think it definitely is deserving and debatably the #1 spot on these top DLC weapons. So what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to let me know. Of course, not everyone has every DLC weapon, but let me know in the comment section down below, which DLC weapons of this list do you own? And also, which weapon do you think is the best overall out of all these DLC guns? I'd love to hear all your guys' thoughts and opinions on that down in the comment section down below. Peacekeeper, however, if you guys have this one and maybe you haven't used it, pull it out and give it a try. I like running stock, fast mags, as well as quick draw. It's sort of, similar to my KN44 class. Next one we're going to have here is the M16. This was actually me playing on my buddy's account. The M16 is absolutely deadly, and when this thing came out, a lot of people thought this was the best DLC gun ever. Since then, my opinion has kind of changed. What is really good, I don't think it is as good as the M8A7. This is how I would put the burst guns in this game, for at least for the primaries. I'd say the XR2 is probably the worst one, even though it is really good. The M16 is probably in the middle, and the M8A7 is probably going to be the best one. But this M16 is a close second behind it. It's absolutely awesome. Another cool thing about this is I think you can hold down the trigger on this one. I'm not sure about that. I don't remember. I haven't played with this one in a long time, but I think you can. And this M16 is an absolute monster. It's pretty much a consistent 2 burst, similar to the XR2. However, you can get those sneaky little 1 bursts, and I do love it because it also reminds me of the M16 from other Call of Duty games, really MW2, which it's sort of, the situation in BO3 is kind of like MW2 because you have the M8A7, which is really good, and the M16, which is still very good, but a close second, and it was the same in MW2 because we had the FAMAS burst gun, which was the best burst gun in that game, and definitely number 1, but then a lot of people forget about the M16 burst gun with the holographic scope in MW2, which was almost as good, but because it's just a little step down, it gets sort of put behind, you know, like you would say, you got Steph Curry and then you got Klay Thompson, you know, both are very good players, but one gets more shine even though they're both very good. And that's how I put the M16 as well as the M8A7 in this game. M16 is one that I don't have on my account, but I still have a bribe pending on my account, so hopefully I can get, you know, either new weapons when they come out, or one that I would look for would be this M16 because I'm a big fan of the M8A7 and I love my burst guns, especially on Nuketown 1 where you can just sit back, burst people, have a secondary RK5 pistol. It feels so good, man, and I absolutely love this M16. Probably one of the later releases. Well, this definitely was one of the later releases, and usually how it goes with the life cycle is the later the DLC weapons, the better they are, with a few exceptions. Like the only one that on this list that came out pretty early was the Peacekeeper. Everything else came out a bit later. Next one is going to be the AK-74U. This one again is me playing on a buddy's account, and this thing is an absolute monster. I really do like this one. I think it's probably, this one might be better than the DIY Renovator, and it is a really good gun. Obviously this is one of the more recent releases, and like I said, they don't really care too much about the balance when they get into the farther releases, but the AK-74U is an absolute monster and one that is actually very good in this game. Like I would put this up there with a consistent, like a pretty top tier SMG, just from what I played with it, but of course it's not going to outclass your CUDA or outclass your VMP, I don't think. AK-74U and the M16, definitely two that I want to get that I don't have yet, because just they're good in every single way. They're really good guns, they're DLC guns, and they have that OG nostalgic feel to it, which just adds so much. It's just like the FAMAS, which is the FFAR in Black Ops 3. I wish that gun was good because back in Black Ops 1 FAMAS, which is what the FFAR in BO3 is modeled after, that was my favorite gun. However, if the gun just isn't good in the new Call of Duty game, the FFAR, I unlocked it, I was super hyped, but it just sucks. It's just not very good, and that's why I kind of, you know, I was upset with that, and you don't see me using the FFAR very much ever since it came out. I think I used it like a couple games and stuff there, but it has so much recoil. It's nothing compared to that original BO1 FAMAS that we all loved and knew, and that's why it sort of kills it off for me. The AK-74U and the M16 definitely do feel how they felt on previous games. The AK-74U, in my opinion, feels like the BO1 AK-74U, and the M16 feels like the MW2 M16. Both very good models, and both stuff that, you know, a lot of people have. If you guys have the AK-74U, I am very jealous, to be honest. This thing is a monster from what I played with it. I remember I was throwing the grip on this thing, you know, extended mags, stuff like that, and having a very, very good time. So those are the first 4 on my list. Of course, there's a lot of good DLC guns, but I'm just going for the top 5 in today's video. No honorable mentions. Coming in at the number 5th spot, a lot of you guys can probably guess what it's going to be based on what I've been saying. The more recent ones are usually the better ones. Coming in at the number 5 spot is the Pps H, and for this one I just have the gameplay of, you know, some killing some combat training when this thing first came out. This thing is an absolute monster, the Pps H, and it's very, very good. Similar to World at War. I think we're going to have a Pps H in World War II. I'm not actually sure if we're going to have one in World War II, but Call of Duty World at War had this Pps H, and in this game, this thing is a monster. The fire rate on this makes it, I would compare it to sort of like a Vesper probably. This thing is really good, and it's a different style compared to the AK-74U. The AK-74U, I'd compare to a CUDA, Pps H, I'd compare to a Vesper, and that's one thing I like to do, and I probably want to do more videos of that, like comparing DLC weapons to their normal weapon counterparts, because there's a lot of situations where a lot of the DLC weapons are straight comparable to weapons that came with the default version of Black Ops 3. So I probably want to make, you know, like I've done a few episodes. I don't know if I've done a few, but I've done talks about that. I want to do some more episodes and stuff like that. So if you guys could drop a like on this video, I'd really appreciate it. Those are the top 5 DLC weapons in Black Ops 3 right now, 2017, in my opinion. Let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts, what you guys think of this list, stuff like that. If you could, drop a like I said, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. I appreciate everyone new subscribing. Subscribe for Cookie and Lookie, and have a great night, everyone. I'm out. Peace.